Welcome back to Pokey Mechanical. Today is a very, very special day. Today marks the 12 months since I purchased my work ute to go mobile as a mobile mechanic and start Pokey's Mechanical. So this is the Falcon work ute that I bought. This is basically 12 months ago, is exactly what kicked off what now is Pokey's Mechanical. I got this. I started putting the word out that I was doing mechanical work, doing servicing and repairs. All I started with was this, my toolbox in the back, right in here. And I'd have my toolbox. I had a couple of other little boxes in here that had like degreasers and WD-40 and oils and coolants and things like that. I had a jack, 4 jack stands, and a couple of other consumable things like wiper blades and stuff like that that you use in servicing. And that pretty much is what I dealt with for the first couple of months with Pokey's Mechanical. The whole time I was operating from my ute, I was consciously putting every single dollar back into building the business, buying more equipment, buying a scan tool, buying everything I could. Just hitting it hard and grinding and working every single day that I was booked out. And it wasn't long before I was so busy, I had to start looking for a workshop. And this is that workshop. For those that have been following along since the start of all this on TikTok would know this workshop quite well. When I first moved here, this was actually being used by a forklift mechanic. Bloody old trucks. And from being in the mobile work ute, I started looking for a property. Now, if you've been following along on TikTok, you'll know that this was the shed that I first started working in. There was another forklift mechanic that was using this workshop. He had trucks and forklifts and all sorts of different things in here, but he also had a hoist that I was able to hire out. I was hiring it for $15 an hour, and that enabled me to have somewhere where customers could come to see me. I didn't have to go and see them, and that sort of started kicking it off pretty quick. With getting service work and repairs and all sorts of different things off the ground. It wasn't long after that we decided that we would take over this premises and really go hell for leather at giving a go whether Pokey's Mechanical would actually become something. We still weren't 100% sure at that stage. We only took this property on for a 1-year lease because we weren't 100% sure whether it would succeed, but it has. So by reinvesting every single dollar that we made back into the business, buying tools, equipment, we bought 3 hoists. The original hoist that was in here is no longer here. Pretty much everything you see in here now is due to a lot of hard work, a lot of long hours, and a lot of reinvesting that money that you make, not going out and celebrating it and spending it on pointless things, buying particular tools that are definitely needed to run the shop, was the key part of the success of why we've been able to build this so quickly. One of the major parts of starting the business off that I really, really pride myself on was making relationships with particular brands that I know I could rely on and I know I can trust and warranty my work with these brands. And one of those major ones is Penrite. We got Penrite on board to be our supplier for oils, and they supply us direct. We use their full synthetic, semi-synthetic engine oils, gear oils, transmission oils, coolants, brake fluids, everything that we use for lubricants in our vehicles that we service at Pokey's Mechanical is all Penrite liquids, all Penrite fluids. And the other brand that we got on board that we sell on a regular basis is Century Batteries, Australian-made Century Batteries. Another really good brand that I'm very, very proud to have in my business and has been a very reliable source for products for my customers to be able to keep them on the road and keep their cars going and basically be reliable on a daily basis. A couple of other key things that have happened in the process of starting up Pokey's Mechanical that I think are very big keys to the success of the business. One of those was making a relationship with a man called Chris Mansfield, and I'll be forever in debt for what he did for us. He had the business Pastime Autos. It was a workshop over in East Devonport, and he was shutting down and moving to Western Australia. what he did was actually give us access to his client base. He emailed all his customers and basically recommended me or Pokey's Mechanical as the workshop to go to continue on the servicing his clients. So we picked up a lot of his work and very, very grateful for that. So thank you very much, Chris. Really, really appreciate it. Now, another part of the success of Pokey's Mechanical is over here in the corner. Stephen.
Don't look at me at the moment while I'm fucking shit up.
Stephen is my first apprentice that we put on, and very, very grateful that he came on board and been a very big supporter and a pusher in the success of Pokey's Mechanical. And
don't look at me trying to push bushings.
He's making him nervous. So having Stephen on board really accelerated the ability for me to be able to quote things, him continue working on cars while I was doing other stuff of actually working on the business, not just working within the business. So the other part of his side of things coming on board was his customer service. He's been exceptional with looking after customers and talking to them and talking face to face with them after he's worked on their car. And he's probably the only first year mechanic I've ever worked with in my life that has customer service skills to the standard that he has. So that's a big, big plus and a big, big boost for what's enabled us to get to the stage that we're at right now in business. Like, to be able to build what we've built in 12 months, could not have done it without that man over there.
All it took for those customer service skills was killing my soul for 5 years in retail.
Worth it.
Yeah, most first years don't have that kind of retail experience.
No. Highly recommend it. For, like, a lot of people, they bag out super cheap stuff, but honestly, the customer service skills that they have been taught and that they've developed is absolutely essential for building a business. Now, the other thing with what I was saying just before, with Chris Mansfield, he handed over his business client base to us. Another thing that he actually sold me was his old brake lathe. That's been a big, big tool to be able to use that in our workshop, to be able to make money and service vehicles, to be able to make sure that we're getting rid of brake shutter when we're servicing. We don't just sell them rotors, we can actually offer them a cheaper option to fix the problem they've got with their vehicle. So that's been a big plus for us as well. A little bit of a funny story with this actual machine was many, many years ago when I was working at the scrapyard with my old man that he used to own, my dad used to own. We actually bought this brake lathe off Michael Truscott that owns the Tyre Solution here in Devonport, and he didn't want this anymore. We bought it off him and I sold it to Chris at Pastime Autos, and Chris held onto it and used it for many, many years after that. And then when I started up and he was leaving, he sold it back to me. And yeah, it's done the full rounds to get back to me for me to be able to use it in my business and help me grow it. So that's been a really, really big tool and help to be able to do that. A couple of other things, big shout out to Brad Olson that's lent me his MIG welder that he's allowing us to use. Also Mark. Now this is one of the biggest ones. Mark at Mobile Auto Glass Solutions. I cannot praise him high enough. Let me just get his signage on the video just so you know who it is. So he is a mobile business. He was working in his own small little shed that was like 12 metres by 12 metres or something really small. And he was just working out of the one van and was just by himself being a mobile business basically. So he was working from a small shed and I hit him up one day, and on the exact same night that I had the idea, his wife had the same idea of what if we went into a shed together. So I hit Mark up and said, how long have you got left on your lease, mate? And he said, I'm actually finished on my lease. I've not got any ties with the property that he was in. And that is the big part of what's enabled us to get this massive, massive complex to be able to have as our first premises to be able to work from. So that's been a big part of the success of this business, is having such a professional frontage and such a professional workshop premises inside to be able to have that, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without Mark pitching in and paying part of the rent for being able to have this sort of premises. Now, another brand that's been a big helper in us getting off the ground is Repco. Repco has been a big supporter of us because Paul, the manager at Repco here in Devonport, knows my history with the tyre solution and getting the mechanic business up and running in that company. I basically went to him and said, look mate, I'm starting up, I'm going to be mobile, I intend on getting a workshop and all that sort of stuff, what can you do to help me out? And he put me on a really good pricing structure, gave me an account and all that sort of stuff, and it's been absolutely seamless working with them pretty much every single day ever since I started, to be able to get parts at a really good rate for me to be able to make a little bit of profit on each one, and able to me to basically have that extra income coming in from getting the cheaper rates with the parts right off the bat, right from the start. I didn't have to go out of my way and spend like $5,000 or $10,000 a month before getting onto that cheaper rate. Paul knew what my history was before and really wanted to help me out, so he gave me a really good price structure, and that's basically another leverage sort of reason of why we've been able to get to the success level that we have. Stephen's going to get a demonstration of how to put a bush on the end of a control arm for a BMW here. It's as easy as that. Done.
It's easy as that when I'm not paying for the rubber grease.
Did you just put it on wrong?
Yeah, a little bit.
Put your foot on that bit. Yeah, I'll put my foot on that bar.
Because it's got to go. It's just got to.
Yeah.
Did I put it on wrong?
Yeah, you have, haven't you?
No, that's the right way around. Do you know what's happened? Fucking. No, they're different part numbers.
No, you flip that over and round the other way, and those will be pointing upwards. We were just having a discussion only 20 minutes ago before we did the other one. Double check it, make sure it's the right way around before you push it on there. This is awesome. I'm so glad you got this wrong right now while I'm videoing. Oh.
Because if that goes...
Yeah, and it's right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah?
I had it the right way around, I just had it upside down.
That's the wrong way around then, isn't it?
Yeah, dude, I had it the right way.
Oh dear. This is another thing that happened in the first year of us operating. We'd only been really operating for maybe 3 months and then got voted the winner for auto service and parts in the Northwest Coast area. So what that is from the local radio stations. They hold a competition where you can go onto a website and select the business that you want to vote for, and the local public can go and vote and get whatever business they wish to win or be a runner-up for the CFM Best of the Best Awards. And it was just me and Stephen and my wife to be able to get to that level in such a short amount of time was absolutely sensational to be able to pull that off. Yeah, there might have been a little bit of swindling having my TikTok following and getting them to vote, but it worked and it paid off, and it was sensational because it got the local community's knowledge out there to let them know that I was here and I was here and I was meaning business, because in the local community's eyes, winning that is a massive deal in Devonport. Alright, welcome to the office of Pokey's Mechanical. This, I think, is one of the big key ingredients as well to what has made Pokey's Mechanical a success. When a customer walks in, they're walking in where the camera is right now, where your view is. So you get the front desk area where my wife would normally sit. I sit here. Mark from Mobile Auto Glass Solutions has got this side of the desk over here. Got a little waiting room area with a couch, a couple of magazines and brochures and things for people to look at if they want to look at them. But I think just by having this area at such an early stage in business is a real serious, we're here to mean business, we're here to give good quality service, and we're here to look after our customers, and we want to be professional. So it comes across a lot better, I think, than having a dingy, shitty little workshop that's got a dirty, yucky, really old and outdated office area. Like, you get a lot of the office areas around Devonport, a lot of the workshops around Devonport, the office areas are really, really dreary and not professional looking. Don't have the same impact this does to a customer when they walk in. And I think this has been a big, big key to part of the success of how we've set this up to make it look like it is busy. There's a lot going on with bits and pieces that we've got going around here, but it's a lot of stuff that's interesting to look at and see as well for people when they walk in. But it still has that very nice, clean, professional feel to it. And I think that's a big key to being able to succeed in this sort of industry. All right, so that's pretty much a rundown of how we've got to where we are in the first year of starting this all up. So it's a little bit of a surreal thing. I'm just finishing this off on the next day. I was editing it on the next day after filming that yesterday. And yeah, just need to finish this off because I didn't get an outro to it. But yeah, after buying that ute only 12 months ago, it's a little bit hard to think of what I've accomplished in such a short amount of time. It's actually a bit of a spin out. One thing I noticed when I was editing, we've recently got Michael on board. Michael is our second employee, our second apprentice, and also came from Supercheap. He worked with Stephen at Supercheap and came with recommendations from Stephen. Very, very grateful to have him on board. He's an asset to the business. Very, very knowledgeable man. And the bloke loves Toyotas, so that's a fucking big bonus for us too. Because obviously, I'm a Toyota guru. Well, not... I'll edit that bit out. I'm a Toyota lover. Big time. Absolute big time. So to have another guy that's a Toyota lover as well is really, really cool and really fun to have as part of the dynamic of the three of us in the workshop as well. So it's going great guns now with Michael on board. Yeah, I just want to thank all of our customers. Like, we have had hundreds of new customers over the 12 months. And I am very, very grateful for every single one of them. And I'm very, very grateful for every single follower on TikTok. And I'm very, very grateful for every subscriber here on YouTube. Because without you guys, without the TikTok following, this wouldn't have become a thing at all. And without all this social media sort of interaction and activity, I don't think the success of this business would have become what it is without it. So I'm very grateful for all of that, to be able to actually turn that into this has just been absolutely incredible. So it's kind of, I don't want to feel like I'm bragging, but it's a humbling feeling knowing that when you put in as much work as what I've put in, it's paying off. And it's an awesome feeling. It's absolutely awesome. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I think I'm done. I don't really have much else to say. I really, really appreciate the fact that you've given me your time to watch this video today and listen to basically how we've grown the business and what has been done to do that. There's a lot more to it, obviously, than what I can fit into one video. And if you liked what you heard here and want more information about how we built the business, other little tips and tricks for marketing and stuff like that I've got, feel free to ask in the comments down below. And yeah, I might do more videos about this if it's of interest to you. Cheers. See you on the next one. Thanks very much for watching. And yeah, this is Pokey's Mechanical. Catch you later.